If you've followed me for a long time, you'll know that back in the day, I was plant-based. In fact, most of my life, I've been plant-based. I preferred eating that way. Probably, truth be told, I still do. I enjoy plants. I enjoy the colors, the textures, the variety, all that kind of thing. It doesn't enjoy me, is the bottom line. And I did not know this until I accidentally fell into carnivore about 8 months after I had weight loss surgery. So in case you're new around here, here's the quick backstory. I have had thyroid disease since I was 21, where I put on 50 kilos seemingly overnight and was never able to lose it. I then found out I had lipedema. Fast forward a few years and I found out that weight loss surgery can potentially help lose all weight that's not lipedema related. That's key. It's not the lipedema weight that you're losing. But when you have lipedema, you tend to attract normal weight. It's that old saying of you just have to look at a cream bun and it goes straight to your hips. That's kind of what happens with lipedema. And so I jumped into weight loss surgery thinking I had nothing more to lose. I was already eating very cleanly, a plant-based diet. I had become a naturopath, clinical nutritionist and herbalist by this time. So I knew I was eating the best way that I possibly could, but not necessarily for lipedema, because even when I studied, I didn't hear anything about lipedema. So this was just going off what I knew at the time, but not with much experience on lipedema. About 8 months into my weight loss journey, we were heading to Bali, and my husband was getting a little bit of FOMO because I was losing so much weight, and he was like, right, I've got to lose weight before we go to Bali. And, you know, we all do this, right? We all lose weight so that we can go on holidays and eat a little bit more. It's very human. So I said to him, you know, the last time you lost a lot of weight easily was just when you ate meat, because he didn't eat veggies, right? We're complete opposites in that respect. And once he cut out all the crap, he was left with just meat and animal products. The last time he did this, I was not a naturopath. And so I suddenly went, oh, is this healthy? Is this good for him? And so I went into research mode. Lo and behold, nowadays it's got a name. It's called the carnivore diet, and it didn't have a name back then. And I was doing more and more research, watching more and more videos. And I thought, oh, this is really interesting. And I was coming across people that had reversed their antibodies, their thyroid antibodies, and had reversed their thyroid medication, all kinds of things. So he went to carnivore, and I thought, oh, I eat so little now since weight loss surgery that I may as well do it with him in the lead up to Bali, because it was just easier. For the first time in my life, I was happy not to make separate meals for us. So in those 3 weeks in the lead up, instead of losing 1 kilo a week, which is what I had been doing very steadily since my weight loss surgery, I lost 3 kilos a week. I felt good. I felt energized. I felt amazing. I was actually really, really surprised. And so oh, this is weird. Anyway, went to Bali for our 4-week holiday, and I was very much in the mind of, I will eat whatever I like because I'm eating far less. I always on holidays let myself eat whatever I wanted to. Generally, I gravitate towards Asian foods anyway, so I wasn't too bothered by it. Anyway, 2 weeks into this trip, suddenly I was like, oh, I really miss my meat. And so everywhere I went, I started ordering the surf and turf and things like that. And my husband just ate what I couldn't eat. And I felt so much better pretty much instantly. So that was when I started to go, oh, maybe my body prefers meat, not plants, which was a whole new thing in my head. So that's the quick backstory. And then after that, I just kind of went to and fro, testing plants, testing meat. I always felt better with the meat. And because I have thyroid disease as well, it's no surprise because the high tyrosine content in meat as opposed to veggies was helping my brain out and making me feel better. I kept going. And then I got more serious about it. And then I did it really strictly for a little while, in fact, a long while. And now I sort of go between keto. So when I feel like I want the veggies back in, I will bring the veggies back in. But every time I get off track or eat the things I shouldn't, I instantly go back to carnivore. And here's why. It's my safety net. It gets me back on track. It does 5 things for me that is why it's a no-brainer as to why I go back to it every single time I get off track. So the first thing is, it's super easy. I don't have to think too hard. I just have to put meat in the fridge and eat it. Or eggs. Eggs is always a breakfast, right? So eggs in the fridge, boiled eggs in the fridge, scrambled eggs on the breakfast table. Over here, it is more pork and chicken than it is beef, because beef is super expensive in Bangkok. In Australia, I ate more beef. I've just changed the meats I eat. Every now and again, I'll still have beef if I can find it in the supermarket at a less than exorbitant price, or if I just feel like it. I don't worry too much about the price if I just feel like it, because I figure I need it. So it's just super easy. That's just probably the first thing. I don't have to count calories. I don't have to count macros and carbs and, test my ketones and am I in ketosis for keto diet and all of that kind of thing. It's just easy. If I'm hungry, I eat meat. That's it. Okay, so that's number 1 reason that carnivore is my safety net. Number 2 reason is I lose my cravings super quickly. So if I've gone back to this because I've started letting the treats filter in, the carbs have come back, all the human joyful things that we participate in when it comes to food, I lose cravings really quickly. I don't have to suffer through 3 days of, I really want that, dessert, or I really want that piece of chocolate, or I really, really want some bread. I just get over it really quickly. Carnivore gets you straight back into it. You have a day of probably, why am I doing this? But then it's gone. The cravings just go really quickly. Whereas I think when I eat veggies and other things like that, it drags it out a little bit. So that's number 2 reason why carnivore is my safety net. Number 3 is I feel satiated. I feel full really quickly. I have to force myself to eat more meat and more eggs when it comes to eating carnivore. When I eat veggies, when I eat meals that are loaded with veggies, as pretty as they look and as micronutrient dense as they are, I'm actually looking for more food later, because I fill my small tummy, because remember I have a small tummy now, I fill it up with veggies instead of meat, and it doesn't go as long. It doesn't go as far. I find it a couple of hours later, I'm having to eat again. And that's not such a bad thing if that's the kind of thing that you want to do, is eat 5-6 times a day. But I would rather eat 3 times a day, because I'm too busy to be, having 5 meals a day. So having meat ready to go, easy, satiating, loses the cravings. All right. So that's number 3 reason why I divert to carnivore when things get a little bit off track. Number 4 reason is that my inflammation goes down really quickly and everything stops hurting. I've had a double knee replacement. This was before I really understood what lipedema can do to our joints. Plus, I weighed 130 kilos for a really, really long time. My knees don't hurt now. They're great. I have titanium knees. However, when I eat a few too many carbs or even a few too many veg, or I put peanuts in that salad because it's Asia, my knees start to hurt. They're my actual telltale sign that I'm eating what I shouldn't be eating, or I'm eating what my body doesn't like. Eating meat, eating carnivore takes those pains away pretty instantly, which tells me it lowers the inflammation pretty instantly. And if you've not tried this, try it. Okay, being in ketosis, actually ketones are anti-inflammatory to our body. So if you've got aches and pains and that kind of thing, I've got lots of videos on this channel about that. So have a look at the different anti-inflammatory videos and see if you want to give this a whirl and see if it helps with your pain and inflammation, because pain equals inflammation. If you're hurting, you're inflamed. And I just find that the quickest way for me to get out of pain is to eat carnivore. Broken record, right? Okay, so that's number 4 reason. Now, number 5 reason is my body. My whole body seems to just exhale. It's like I feel more grounded. I feel more steady. I feel like everything's okay again. I don't know what that is. Is it the extra tyrosine in the meat that's making my thyroid brain feel a lot steadier? Don't know. Is it that I'm not craving things and looking for things, so I'm not on high alert? Don't know. It could be a lot of different things, but I just feel more grounded and steady. I can make decisions better. I'm not as flighty. I'm not as away with the fairies as I might be otherwise. And that's, as I said, if I turn to veggies, it's not that I'm eating a lot of crap. I went through a stage, I'm going to say a few weeks ago, where I just made myself a big salad, which included protein. It still had meat, chicken, or whatever I was eating in each salad, but I made a big bowl of salad, and that's what I ate all day. My weight started to go up doing that. So I wasn't eating anything horrible or anything that I shouldn't be. It was just salad. And so coming back to carnivore, it just magically drops away. So they're my 5 reasons of why carnivore is my safety net. Okay, I'm going to let myself be human. I will get off track time and time again as I get older. I have to wonder, as you get older, are you still searching to do a diet? I'm going to say yes, because my mother is still on a diet, right? Not all the time, but, you know, we all pull ourselves back. And I just want to live a life where I'm not having to think about food all the time. Is that going to happen? No. I've had a lifetime of this, and that's not going to end. And with lipedema, anytime you get on off track, it's going to affect how you move, how you feel, the inflammation, all that kind of thing. So I'm no different. So I'm always going to need a way that I can get back on track easily. And for me, that's carnivore. So let's go over those 5 reasons again. It's easy to do, so less stress, which in turn, you know, lowers your cortisol and therefore doesn't drive lipedema. So that's a little bonus for the less stress. It's just easy. Have a bunch of meat in your fridge. Simple. Boiled eggs in your fridge. Simple. I lose my cravings super quickly. I feel satiated. I feel full. I don't feel like I'm searching for more food 2 hours after I've eaten. My inflammation goes down quickly and the pain goes away. And that's why the pain goes away, is because the inflammation has gone down, because pain equals inflammation. And I feel grounded. I feel steady. I feel like I can get through my life with not too many issues going on. And we all want to feel like that above anything else, right? We all want to feel at peace in our bodies. And carnivore does that for me.